Hi everybody, I hope you and yours are doing great. A very happy and delightful Hanukkah. Play on words intentional. This Shabbos is a very special Shabbos. There's a convergence of three special things. There's Parshat Miketz, the Torah reading for the portion is the portion of Miketz. It's also Rosh Chodesh Teves, the beginning of the new month, of the Hebrew month of Teves, and it's also Shabbos Hanukkah. So in this week's portion, Yosef Tzapnik accuses his brothers, who they don't recognize him, that they're spies. And the only way they can prove that they're not spies is if they bring their young brother Binyamin down to Egypt. Yaakov back in Canaan, when they come and give him the report, is very distressed about this and he says, why do you treat me so badly that you told him that you have another brother? And the Medrash oral tradition tells us something very fascinating, that God said, he's complaining, I'm making his son king. And he's asking about why they treated me so badly. So what's God's lesson for us from all of this? And the answer, I think, ties in to something very important. The idea that we don't always see the whole picture. There's a bigger picture that's going on. There's something called a divine plan. I would like to share that I'm very grateful to the Almighty that last week I was able to participate and fly into New Jersey for my grandson's wedding. And the flight was heavily booked, overbooked, so much so that even when we came to the kiosk to register in for the flight, they were already offering lots of money to take another flight. So the entire plane was fully booked. Every seat was taken. And when I got to my aisle seat, I noticed that there was one seat empty next to me because the seat was broken and said no one can sit in that seat. And the woman who was sitting at the other end said, oh, we're so lucky we have this extra seat here. And I told her that in Judaism we don't believe in luck. We believe in a divine plan. And she appreciated that thought. At the same time, on my return flight, we were delayed before takeoff, and when we landed, there was no gate available, so we were delayed and delayed and delayed. And that also we need to remember is part of the divine plan. Do we know why? No. But there is a divine plan that gave us the only exclusive empty seat on the flight, and on the other hand, delayed us as well. There was a man called Steve who was an exceptionally successful businessman. He owned a $1 million apartment in Manhattan. He had exclusive rights in the electronic company to distribute certain things, and he was making a lot of money. Unfortunately, one day he had a heart attack. And thank God he recovered. Eventually, though, he had another heart attack. And his cousin told him that, you want to be a dead billionaire or you want to be alive. You have to quit and sell the business. He says, I'm not even 50. You want me to retire? He says, yeah, because your life is at stake. And he sold his business and sold his apartment and moved to a rural area not far away from a yeshiva, a institution of high Torah learning. And 3 years after he retired, he came to the yeshiva and he said, could he get a study partner? And he started studying a half a day in the yeshiva. And that became what he did. And one day his study partner asked him, Steve, tell me the truth. Now looking back at the broader picture, was selling your business a terrible decision or not? And Steve answered, honestly, when I retired, I thought this was the worst day of my life. Terrible. But now in perspective, if not for the heart attack, I'd be still behind the desk 14 hours a day, working for what? For more money? I'm comfortable. I spend a couple of hours a day managing my investments, and the rest of the time I can study Torah. My heart attack was the best thing that happened to me, he said. So there's a powerful lesson here. The powerful lesson is that there is a divine plan, and we don't always get to see what it is. but we have a limited view of what's going on. And I will add, we can be part of that divine plan. Think about the Kohen who took the jug of pure olive oil that was untainted and pure and hid it. And that's what they found to make, that God made the Hanukkah miracle that lasted for 8 days. Well, the group of men that got together, Yehuda HaMaccabee and his brothers and his fathers, Matisyahu, and they fought, outnumbered, outgunned, outtrained. They were scholars. But look, with them they changed the world. And they had an impact. And Hanukkah is celebrated throughout the world today. So we need to know, number one, that there's a divine plan bigger than who we are, that we don't usually see the bigger picture. So even when things don't work out, we need to be cognizant of that. And number two, we too can be part of the big picture by doing little things that can become very big, even beyond our wildest expectations. So this Hanukkah and this Shabbos, Parshat Miketz, and this Rosh Chodesh, they will be inspired to always remember that God is running the show, and maybe we'll be allowed to have a part in His big picture by us making our effort to do the right thing. And remember that God's picture is very big, beyond our comprehension, but we can be a part of that beautiful divine picture. Have a great Shabbos, a great Hanukkah, and a great Chodesh, a great month. All the best.